Imagine you buy a car that promises to save the planet, but it stops working when you need it the most. That's what happened to many EV owners who found out that their electric vehicles don't work well in winter. Why is this happening? How can it be fixed? Come, let's find out more. Electric vehicles have been hailed as the future of transportation, offering numerous benefits such as zero emissions, lower operating costs, and a smooth, quiet ride. However, a significant issue has emerged that is causing frustration and anger among EV owners. These vehicles are not performing well in cold weather. During the winter months, particularly in regions where temperatures drop below freezing, EV owners are finding that their vehicles are not functioning as expected. The problem is so severe that it's as if their high-tech EVs have turned into unresponsive robots, leaving them stranded in the cold. The primary issue lies with the batteries that power these vehicles. Just like any other battery-operated device, the batteries in EVs are affected by cold temperatures. When the mercury drops, the chemical and physical reactions inside the battery that generate electricity take more time. This slowdown reduces the power available to the EV, affecting its performance and efficiency. In freezing conditions, the driving range of EVs can drop by up to 30%. This means that an EV that usually covers 200 miles on a full charge may only be able to travel 150 miles in the cold. While this reduced range might still be sufficient for daily commuting, it could leave drivers stranded during longer trips, especially if charging stations are not readily available. Charging the vehicle also becomes a challenge in cold weather. The same slowdown of chemical reactions that affect the driving range also impacts the charging process. As a result, EVs take longer to charge in the cold. Some owners have reported that their vehicles show 0% charge, even after being plugged in for hours. This issue is further exacerbated when public charging stations become crowded with EVs lining up for a power boost, turning these stations into what some have described as car graveyards. Some solutions have been suggested to combat these issues. One such solution is to precondition the battery before charging. This involves warming up the battery to an optimal temperature at which it can accept a fast charge. However, this process itself consumes power and can drain the battery, especially if it's already low on charge. This is one of the ways that EV owners can cope with the cold weather and avoid turning their EVs into dead robots. However, EV manufacturers and charging station operators also need to improve their technology and service to make EVs more reliable and convenient in all kinds of weather conditions. EVs are still a relatively new and evolving form of transportation, and they have a lot of potential to become more popular and beneficial in the future. Moreover, managing an EV in cold weather can be quite complex. For instance, some manufacturers recommend activating certain settings at least 45 minutes before departure and using specific features to navigate to a charging location. Despite these recommendations, many owners find it difficult to follow these procedures, especially when they are stranded in the cold with a vehicle that won't start. The situation has led to a lot of frustration among EV owners. Some have had to resort to hiring tow trucks to move their unresponsive vehicles, while others have had to abandon their cars and seek alternative transportation. The anger is increasing, especially since these issues are not widely discussed in sales pitches or promotional materials for EVs. This dead robot phenomenon has raised serious questions about the viability of EVs in cold climates. While the technology has advanced significantly in recent years, it's clear that there are still challenges to overcome. Until a solution is found, EV owners living in cold regions may need to plan their trips carefully and take extra precautions during the winter months. Some EV owners in places like Chicago, where it can get very cold in winter, have experienced problems with their EVs because of this. They have found that their EVs run out of electricity faster than expected, and they have trouble finding or using charging stations that work properly in the cold. Some of them have even been stranded in the middle of nowhere, with no power to move their EVs or keep them warm. They have called their EVs dead robots because they look like machines that have stopped working and cannot be revived. The performance of EVs in cold weather is a significant issue that is causing anger and frustration among owners. The freezing temperatures affect the efficiency of the batteries, reducing the driving range and slowing down the charging process. While solutions like battery preconditioning have been suggested, they are not always practical or effective. This issue highlights the need for continued research and development in EV technology, particularly in improving battery performance in cold weather. Until then, EV owners will need to brace themselves for potential disruptions during the winter months. Maintaining an electric vehicle during winter can be a challenge due to the cold weather's impact on the vehicle's battery and overall performance. However, several strategies can help you get the most out of your EV during the winter months. Park indoors or under a cover. If possible, park your EV indoors or under a cover. This can help protect the battery from the cold and maintain its efficiency. Precondition the battery. Most EVs allow you to set a time to warm up your car before departure. This is beneficial as it warms up the battery and heats up the cabin. If you charge at home, keep your EV plugged in when you start to warm it so the battery's charge won't be tapped. Manage battery charge levels. During frigid conditions, the car's battery management system reserves a certain percentage of the battery capacity to heat the battery. Aim to stay between 20–80% charging range for maximum efficiency and plan to charge more frequently. Heat the passenger, not the car. Blasting the heat when it's cold will reduce your EV's range. Restrict heating to just the driver's side if you're driving solo, or only use seat heaters if you have them. It consumes less power than heating the whole car. Inflate your tires. The air in your tires contracts as the temperature drops and the pressure falls. Check your tires' pressure regularly to maximize winter range. Use Eco Mode. Most EVs offer Eco Mode, which boosts mileage and reduces power consumption by limiting the energy supplied to the driving motor and cabin heaters. Avoid fast charging. Minimizing fast charging is important to conserve your battery life. Use less regenerative braking. Consider turning off your vehicle's regenerative braking function to prevent unexpected loss of grip on the road. Prepare for emergencies. Keep an ice scraper, an extra coat or blanket, extra water, and an emergency kit with first aid items in your car during the winter. By following these tips, you can ensure that your EV performs optimally during the winter months. However, it's important to remember that every EV is different, and what works best for one model may not work as well for another. Always refer to your vehicle's owner's manual for specific maintenance and care instructions. Choosing the right electric vehicle for winter conditions involves considering several factors. Some tips to find the best EVs for cold regions are all-wheel drive. An EV with all-wheel drive, AAD, can provide better traction and control on slippery winter roads. AWD systems distribute power to all four wheels of the vehicle, which can be particularly helpful when driving on snow or ice. Ground clearance. If you frequently travel on back roads or areas with heavy snowfall, consider an EV model with higher ground clearance. This can help prevent the vehicle's undercarriage from scraping against snow and ice on the road. Tire type. Winter tires can significantly improve an EV's performance in winter conditions. They are designed to provide better traction on snow and ice compared to all-season or summer tires. Some manufacturers now offer EV-specific winter tires, which are optimized for efficiency and quiet operation. Battery preconditioning. Some EVs offer a feature called battery preconditioning. This involves warming up the battery while the vehicle is still plugged in, which can make the battery more efficient and extend the driving range in cold weather. Using the preconditioning feature can also reduce the time you need to spend waiting for your vehicle to charge. Heated features. Heated seats and steering wheels can provide extra comfort during winter driving. Some EVs also offer heated windshields, which can help to clear ice and snow quickly. Range. Cold weather can reduce an EV's driving range. When choosing an EV for winter driving, consider models that offer a sufficient range to meet your needs, even in cold conditions. Charging speed. The speed at which an EV can charge its battery can be slower in cold weather. Consider models that offer fast charging capabilities to minimize charging time. Remember, the best EV for winter driving will depend on your specific needs and driving conditions. It's always a good idea to research and test drive several models before making a decision. With the right EV, You can enjoy efficient, environmentally friendly driving all year round, even in winter. You won't believe what happened to thousands of EV owners this winter. They were left stranded in the cold as their cars failed to start. Now you know the reason behind this shocking phenomenon. How can you avoid being the next victim? Comment your thoughts on this and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.